All right, so here we are. We're getting into the streaming wars. So in the streaming wars segment, we talk about things that are happening that are interesting in the world of streaming. Particularly, we're talking about live streaming or streaming entertainment. We're talking about things like Netflix, Disney Plus, any one of these, Hulu, the Peacock, whenever that does or doesn't happen, any of these fun, interesting streaming outlets. Whether we're also talking about some of the free services, such as Pluto TV, or even something like Crackle or Tubi. So anyhow, so tell me, Eric, what did you find that was interesting for this week's segment of the streaming wars?
Well, we've talked about them a little bit before. We had a new player come into the streaming wars recently. So this is a CNET article dated April 6th. Headline reads, Quibi, which, by the way, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. Quibi versus Peacock versus HBO Max versus Disney Plus versus Apple TV Plus versus Netflix. How streaming stacks up. It says, with the launch of Quibi, NBC's Peacock, and HBO Max this spring, you'll have more streaming choices than ever, and our guide breaks them down. So again, Quibi has just basically joined the streaming wars within the last week or so. They just started. So it says Disney Plus has arrived. Apple TV Plus has picked up its first round of awards. And new services such as NBC Comcast Peacock and AT&T's HBO Max are just around the corner. As the list of services continue to grow from the, quote, old days of just Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu, Disney's other platform, you'll be forgiven for thinking there was a new service every week, which right now that's kind of what it feels like. April adds yet another new option, Quibi. The brainchild of DreamWorks co-founder Jerry Katzenberg and led by former HP CEO Meg Whitman, Quibi is a new take on streaming with a mobile-only approach. It's available now in the US and Canada on iOS and Android for $4.99 a month with ads and $7.99 a month ad-free, with original shows that have episodes running 10 minutes or less. Yes, you heard that right. They have original shows with episodes running 10 minutes less. And again, mobile only. Mobile only. We have discussed before how YouTube dominates that particular area. I mean, it completely dominates it over even Netflix. But this is what Quibi is coming up with. What's interesting is Quibi is doing their own shows, these very sort of short shows, 10-minute shows, and they're charging. So basically what they're doing is they're going to become sort of somewhat of a paid version, a premium version of YouTube. It's a really interesting gamble. And could actually, if it takes off, it could be a bad thing for creators such as myself and Dave, quite frankly. So they kind of break down all the different services that as far as what they're planning to do, what their price points are, and all that kind of stuff. This is a pretty good article to show you where they are right now. So like they talk about here, streaming compared. They've got Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Quibi, and Peacock, which Peacock is a little cut out, unfortunately, but that's just the way my computer displays it. So they're talking about monthly price. So let's talk price. Let's talk business here, right? So Netflix starts out at $8.99 a month, basically $9 a month. Amazon Prime Video starts out about the same, $8.99, or it's included with $120 a year Prime membership, which of course the Prime membership of Amazon gives you other benefits like free shipping. Disney Plus is lower. That's basically $7 a month. HBO Max, which hasn't come out yet, they're going to be $15 a month. $15. Quibi, which just came out, is $5. But again, it's a very different kind of network because they're going to be doing these 10-minute shows, which I'm kind of curious what they're going to be like. But to be honest with you, I have no interest in supporting that. As far as ads go, Netflix has no ads. Amazon Prime has no ads. Disney Plus has no ads. HBO Max has no ads. Quibi does, which is also interesting. because they have the ad-based option. And Peacock, which is over here on the end, they're also going to have an ad-based option. They also have a premium option. So as far as availability, obviously Netflix is out, Amazon is out, Disney is out, HBO Max is not coming out till May 20th. Quibi just came out, and Peacock is going to be starting April 15th for Comcast. In other words, if you have a Comcast subscription, you can get Peacock. I'm sorry, you get Peacock then. It won't roll out for the rest of us until July 15th. I had been hoping and kind of thinking they would come out early because of the pandemic, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Oh, and then we also have Apple TV over here. They're $5 a month. In a lot of ways, it's kind of funny because in a lot of ways, Dave and I actually have kind of forgotten about Apple TV consistently because I don't think we've had much interest in it. And it just hasn't generated a whole lot of buzz. So we keep going down the list here of the different features of the different streaming services. As far as actual content or supported devices, I'm sorry. This is interesting. So obviously Apple, is not supported on Android devices. Quibi obviously will be because it's meant for your phone. As far as like being supported by iOS app, which of course is a mobile device, that's the mobile platform for Apple. Pretty much everybody across the board supports that, which is kind of interesting because Apple is obviously not available for Android, Apple TV, but Quibi is going to be available as a mobile platform on both. There's other platforms such as Roku that most of these will be supporting. Again, Quibi, because it's mobile only, it will not support Roku. It will not support Amazon Fire TV. It will not support Apple TV, obviously. It's not going to support Android TV. It's not even going to support Chromecast, which I think is really crazy that Quibi is not supporting Chromecast, because I would definitely be more interested in a mobile platform that I could cast to my TV. Xbox One, again, Quibi is not supporting. Apple obviously doesn't. And of course, my favorite way of streaming is PlayStation 4, which is not supported by either Apple or Quibi, but is supported by everybody else, all those other big players. There's also these promotions in terms of money, which is very, very important to people right now. Netflix does have a promotion where they're included with T-Mobile Magenta. Disney is free for you Verizon customers. HBO Max will be bundled with AT&T Unlimited and more. Quibi is included with T-Mobile Magenta or plans with 2 lines or more if you have T-Mobile. Apple TV Plus is free for a year with a new iPhone, Mac, iPod. So any Apple product, basically, you get Apple TV free for a year. And Peacock is premium with ads included for free to Comcast or Cox customers. So that's basically your breakdown of how these different services that are currently out or very soon going to become out, the major players, and how they're going to work. So I'm kind of curious, Dave, did you even realize Quibi had come out yet?
I know Quibi had come out because I'd seen some stuff for it. I'll be honest with you, this is another one of the services I don't care about at all. It's not on my radar. A lot of my decisions when it comes to streaming content, when it comes to streaming services, and there was a Freudian slip, is all based off of content. What do you have that you're offering? And then based off what you're offering, I'll make a determination whether or not I want to support whatever it is you're doing. I've mentioned before, the only thing on Apple TV that had my interest was the Snoopy in Space show, because I'd still kind of like to watch that. That's what they had. By the time they started pushing it and promoting it, I'd moved on. When I look at Netflix, for example, I keep thinking it's like, now's the time to get rid of Netflix. Well, here's season 3 of Ozark. So Mike and I are working our way through season 3 of Ozark. I really like Ozark. So,
and we just did Witcher. And we just did Witcher, and we just agreed to do one more episode of Witcher. So, I can get rid of Netflix right now. So
yeah, so that's kind of the thing. It's like Netflix always has something new and interesting, either in the pipeline or it comes out. And now sometimes you don't know anything about it. Like everybody's going on about the crazy Tiger Man show, whatever that show is. I don't want to watch that. I know Carol
you don't want to
Baskin
review it on the show?
someone.
I was gonna pitch that for the next show.
I don't know. That's gonna be a tough sell. But anyhow, but that's how for example, like DC Universe has been plugging me every day. The second season of the new Harley Quinn animated series actually started, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday. So they had just finished their first season, and now here's season 2 already. We don't talk about DC Universe very much, but there's a service I used to subscribe to that I'm this close to pulling the trigger on signing back up for again if I'm going to do another service right now. So as far as Quibi is concerned, I'm just not interested. I'm not looking for another pay service, especially something that's mobile only. We're creating original content. It's 10-minute episodes, and it's going to cost me how much? I can watch interesting 10-minute stuff right now for YouTube for free. Like, why would I see people doing interesting stuff right now on Facebook that's longer than that for free. Some people are watching us right now. We're an hour and 51 minutes into our show for free on Facebook. I don't know why you would pay for it, especially when you have really great services right now. When you look at things like Pluto TV, when you look at things like Crackle, they've got a lot of mainstream major studio content that's available. There's so much going on in the free space right now. I'm not interested in another pay service right now. Now I am curious to see what's going to happen with HBO Max, because Warner Brothers has a lot of content that I love. So again, because my decisions are based on content, there might be something happening there that appeals to me. But for a pay service with stuff I don't know what it is, I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
By the way, Bobby says, retro reaction for Tiger King. Not going to lie, I would love to tune in next week and see your faces. That's what I keep being, Bobby, that's what everybody keeps telling me. They're like, it's like people are describing it to me like almost like a train wreck, and you just have to keep watching because I've seen what a phenomenon it's become, and I haven't watched it. I haven't watched any of it. So
I haven't seen any of it either.
So I'm just kind of like, I know it's become like a cultural phenomenon at this point. It's been a big quarantine stream kind of thing where people have been getting this because they're stuck at home. So, but you were talking about as far as paying, and that's something that we've been trying to talk about quite a bit.